So yes, let's get started. Hello, my name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room Made, a coaching and consulting business and platform for women entrepreneurs, women creatives, women who are professional women who are just looking for transformation and how they present themselves in social media, how they present their business, all of that good stuff. And today we're talking about a very specific thing that applies to many of us, which is, are you focused on the problem or are you focused on the solution? And this is important because we deal with so many different challenges in our personal life, in our careers, in our business, and the type of mindset that we have towards dealing with problems and challenges really matters. Why? Because it's going to be the difference between overcoming them or not, and then also the amount of time that we dedicate in our lives to these obstacles that we're dealing with. So let's get into it. Just a couple of ground rules to cover. If you have questions or comments, please put them in so that this can be a conversation and I can address your thoughts. If you would disagree with me, share, tell me. If you agree with me, share, tell me. And of course, share this video with anyone you think that would be interested in joining the conversation as well. Okay, so let's get started. I came across an interesting article on LinkedIn. It's called Problems versus Solution-Oriented Thinking by Chidima Neze. So her last name's Nze. And she says essentially there are a couple of characteristics that you can look into when it comes to saying if someone is more problem focused in their thinking or solution focused. And so let's talk about this. If you agree, I disagree, again, let's talk about it. So someone who's focused on the problem is going to be more negative, feeling hopeless, right? Feeling like they're a victim in the situation. They're often going to blame others instead of taking the responsibility that they have in the situation. They're going to become easily frustrated, and then they're also going to be quick to give up. So I completely agree with that list. I think that you probably could add to those lists, but if you're going to kind of sum it down into like a short list of who is someone who's focused on problems, I think that's a really great list. So let's flip the coin. Someone who's solution focused would be what then? They wouldn't be negative, they would be positive. They wouldn't feel hopeless, they would be hopeful, right? They wouldn't blame others, but they would take responsibility. And would they see problems as kind of insurmountable? No, they would see them as something that they can overcome. And then also they would hold on until it's solved. They wouldn't easily give up. So that makes sense, right? Problem focused people are people who are just going to kind of see the glass as half empty, and they're going to see this as, oh, woe is me. This is always happening to me. I'll never overcome this. This is always going to be, versus a solution based person is what? They're going to see a problem for what it is. They're going to keep it within its context, and they're going to run over it. They're going to take this challenge and they're going to say, okay, deal with it and move the hell on. So that makes sense. And so what do we need to do then to change our mindset, to change our thinking? That's what this conversation is all about. So I'm going to go through 8 different tips that I think you should think about. And again, please comment, give me your thoughts, give me your questions. I'm happy to interject as we're going along with this, okay? Number 1, to change your intention. The number 1 thing to change when it comes to your mindset being more problem focused or solution focused, I think it comes down to your intention. What do you want? So whenever you're dealing with a problem or a challenge, what do you want? Do you want to just be focused on the problem, or do you want a solution? I think you always have to come from a very clear, focused intention. And if you're not necessarily always thinking about that, pause and say, what do I want? Right? Simple question. What do I want? This is a question that you can apply to any situation that you're dealing with. And so when you're thinking about the problem, right, the way to shift your mindset from just being all about the problem is to say, what do I want? So that we start to create that plan for the solution. So that's a really easy way to shift from problem focus to solution focus. Next, I would say is, what do I control in the situation, right? Because again, if we're shifting our mindset, then we have to what? Think about what do we control? Because what do most people do? They worry about things that are not in their control, which is being in that mindset of just problems. What do you control means you can change something, you can do something. So for example, let's make it concrete. Say you are running a business and say, one of your clients is perpetually late and always paying you, right? And so a problem focused person would say, oh, well, this person's always going to pay me late. So I'm just, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just gonna have to wait. And oh man, this might affect my bills, right? And it creates all these other like linear thinking patterns that you're having. Instead of going down that road, what if what? Well, what do I control in this situation? I control when I build a person. I control when I remind the person. I control how I communicate with the person, right? So if the person I'm speaking with is struggling paying me because maybe they're not seeing the email, maybe I should contact them on Facebook. Maybe instead of billing that client at the end of the month, when they usually, maybe their budgets get real tight at that time, maybe I have to just bill that client at the beginning of the month, right? So what do you control? How you think, what you say, what you do. That's the way that we can create a solution for what's going on. Next, creativity. This is probably my favorite tip because my whole business and my whole approach to life is all about being an innovator and helping people innovate within their own lives and within their own business. So if I want to shift my mindset from being a problem-focused person to a solution-focused person, then I would think about how creative and how innovative I can be in the situation. Meaning, have I thought about all the different possible solutions? Because if you only think about one or two solutions, then it's very easy to feel hopeless. It's very easy to feel like you can never overcome this challenge. But if you're always determined to think about 5 or 6 solutions for what's happening in your life, then you're more likely, statistically more likely to find a solution. So get scrappy, get innovative, get creative. If you are looking to make more money, what are all the different ways we can make money? What are ways that we can make money in our main job? Maybe picking up overtime hours. Okay, maybe you have a side hustle. Maybe you need to pump it up into gear. We're getting near holiday season. If this is a good time for your business, then there are no excuses. Start pitching. Get yourself out there, even if it means going in person and pitching your services. Get scrappy, get creative, right? But we don't just sit back on and just kind of rest on our laurels and say, oh, well, there's nothing really I can do, it's nearly the end of the year. That's bull. That's bull. And that's bull, right? So get creative. It's my my favorite tip, I would say, because I live my life by this. And whenever the universe is kind of sharing maybe a challenge with you, I personally think it's like a universal reminder to you to say, are you getting creative enough? Are you thinking outside of the box enough? Most likely not, because we can all be a bit more creative in how we approach our lives, how we approach our business, how we approach our career. So get creative. Next, help. This is a big one, guys. A lot of us want to do everything by ourselves. We're like, oh, I'm an independent island. I don't need anyone. Get a grip. You're a human being. Human beings are both social creatures and we're community animals. We are not created on our own, so I don't know why you think you need to live on your own and do everything on your own. You've got to ask for help. If you're trying to find a solution for whatever you're dealing with in your life, maybe that solution's not going to come out of your head. Maybe that solution's not even going to come from you. Maybe it's going to come from a mentor. Maybe it's going to come from a coach. Maybe it's going to come from someone in your network. But you've got to ask for help. Why? Because most people are not seers. Most people do not read other people's minds. So if you're struggling, if you're having a challenge, guys, you've got to share. And I'm talking more than just the typical get on Facebook and do these rants about how, everything's kind of coming to a shit storm for you. Again, I personally have a certain etiquette that I believe that one should behave on Facebook. But even if you hey, Adrian, even if you disagree and you say, okay, you're the kind of person who loves to lay all your problems out on a Facebook post or Facebook update, fine. But at least have a call to action where you're asking for help and you're not just bitching and moaning. But you've got to ask for help if you need help. This is how you shift your mindset from being problem focused to solution focused. Get help. Get creative in how you ask for help, but get help, because the world is full of experts and people who are givers who are here to help you, but you've got to ask, because we can't read each other's minds. Not yet, at least. One can hope. All right. Next tip, belief. This is super important. And so I'm not necessarily going to corner this part of the conversation to like if you're a faith-based person or not a faith-based person. For me personally, I believe in God. I believe in having some type of spiritual approach to life. But regardless of whether or not you do or not, you know how belief can help you with this situation or challenge that you're dealing with? Believe in yourself. Believe that it's possible for you to solve the solution solve the problem that you're dealing with, to get the solution that you need. You've got to believe in yourself. All right. So that's how you can shift the mindset from thinking only about the problem to finding the solution that you need. First and foremost, do you believe that you can overcome this challenge? Right? Real simple. When I started this tip, I said, what do I want? Next question really, right, would be what do I believe I can do this? Do I believe I can overcome this? And if you can, then you will. And if you can't, you won't, right? There's certain things that happen for a reason. There's certain obstacles that steer us in a different direction. I'm a believer that things are meant to be. So if that's a part of your destiny, then that's whatever's going to play out is going to play out. Again, focus on what you control. You don't control the universal pulls of things. You don't control how things are going to happen. You control what you think. You control what you say. You control what you do. So focusing on that, right? Focusing on how creative I get. How do I ask for help? And do I believe that I can overcome this, right? And so if you believe in yourself, no matter what, I think that that's going to really take you much further than going along and saying, I don't know if I can do this. Is that really helping you? Is that really getting you any further along with tackling this challenge? No, it's not. So cut the crap, right? Believe in yourself. Get focused on what you need to do to get over this hump, to get over this challenge. Next, lessons. So this is an interesting one, right? Because ultimately, I don't believe in failure. I think that every challenge or obstacle that we're facing in our life is a lesson that we have to learn. It's a teachable moment. And I talked about this when I did my 7-day self-love live stream challenge, which you can totally go and find on the Dressing Room 8 YouTube page. So if you go to dressingroom8.com, the number 8, you will be able to click on there and watch that whole 7-day week self-love challenge. But ultimately, we have to deal with challenges. Why? Because I think that ultimately for us to appreciate the good, you have to kind of put up with the rain, right? You're not gonna appreciate a rainbow if it's sunny every day, right? But after it rains and you get the rainbow in the sky, you say, wow, that's so beautiful. You have to get the rain, right? So not everything's gonna be sunshine and lollipops, right? That's just a part of our reality. And you might think, hey, that's unfair. Hey, you might think that sucks, but it's a part of the reality. So again, is that something that you control? No. So why are we worrying about it? Why are we spending time on it? We don't, because it's not under our purview. It's not under our control, right? So whatever is meant to be will be. If it's going to thunderstorm, it's going to thunderstorm. How you respond to the thunderstorm is where you need to focus your energy and deal with that. Not be sitting wondering, oh, why is it going to thunderstorm? Is it going to thunderstorm next week? If it does, it does, right? And the newscasters and people will tell you, right, when shit's about to hit the fan. But ultimately, focus on what you need to do. Where are you lying in the conversation, right? And so remember that ultimately every challenge we're facing, it's making us stronger. It's building this character. It's building muscle. So you can think about kind of with life, like same thing as we have to wake up and move our bodies to build strength and make sure we're maintaining our bodies. We have to deal with challenges because it's like character building. We're like building the character muscle. And you might be like, oh, this really sucks. But there's a lesson that we have to learn. So make sure that as we're going through these challenges, you're not forgetting to take that time to sit and assess and say, what is the lesson that I need to learn here, right? Was it something about people involved? Was it something about myself? Was it something about a skill set? Was it something about how I behave, how other people behave, information I needed to learn? Like, what was the lesson that you needed to learn from this? All right. So that's like but it's it's such a good because we need to learn, guys. We got to learn every single day. We've got to learn. Okay. Next one. This one I really like as a tip because this is about advantages. We all are walking, talking masterpieces. I'm going to repeat that for you. You are a walking, talking masterpiece. Meaning what? There's no one else on this planet with your exact memories. There's no one else on this planet with your exact skill set. There's no one else on this planet with your exact advantages in how they're crafted with your narrative, right? There are a lot of people who can do social media. There are a lot of people who can do public speaking. A lot of people who can write books. A lot of people who can do a lot of different shit. But no one has your exact narrative. Right? So we have to remember that we have our own unique set of advantages. And why is this important to remember? Because this, guys, is how we tackle our obstacles. This is how we tackle these challenges that we're dealing with in our life. We can't forget that there's something amazing that we can do specifically to handle these issues. Okay, so your unique narrative with your unique set of advantages with who you are is how you can overcome the challenge. So we can't forget about our specialness, our uniqueness. I can't be you and you can't be me, right? But who you are is how you're going to see yourself through this challenge. And when you believe that, and when you focus on your intention and you focus and believe that you can do this, anything is possible. Right? And I know that that can sound cliche-ish, but that shit is true, guys. Like, if you can focus on your unique, special abilities, right? You can see yourself through anything. You have everything inside. Everything you need to be ready for whatever you're facing in this world is inside of you. It's not anywhere else, right? It's inside of you, but you've got to believe that. And you've got to remember and think when you're going through these challenges, okay, pause, right? Let me see, what can I do to get over this? All right. And then the last one, and this is something that I have as a part of my company mission, as a part of who I am as a person, purpose, right? Are you on this earth to sit here and bitch and moan? Or are you here to overcome our challenges that you're dealing with and achieve whatever goals you set out for yourself? And it's a similar question to like, what do you want? But it's also like, what's your purpose here? What exactly are you working towards? Because some people seem really dead set on just being the bitcher and the moaner and I'm the victim and I can never overcome this and da-da-da. And maybe that's their life purpose that they've set for themselves. If so, again, you can always change. You can always shift that boat of yours into new territory, into new waters. Guys, you are the master of your fate. But if you are dead set on being a person who refuses to see where you can take responsibility, where you can change your life, then you will always be at the whim of everything else other than what you want. So purpose, guys. What are you here for? And I think this really can give you clarity and really kind of give you that context when you're in the middle of shit and things can get real crazy, right? Whether we're talking about money, whether we're talking about nutrition, whether we're talking about life, serious matters, like serious things happening, right? If you just pause and say, okay, what do I want? And what am I here for? Am I here to just give up, or am I here for a different, bigger purpose? We're here for a different, bigger purpose, guys. Everyone has their own unique purpose. The same way you're a walking, talking masterpiece is the same way you have a unique purpose. So don't forget that and focus. Focus on all of these things that I've said. So I want you to, if you have to watch this again over and over again, please feel free. If you want me to elaborate on one of the specific or a couple of these specific things, just put that in the comments and tell me. I'm here to serve you, to create content that helps you get the transformation you need in your life, in your career, in your business, right? Like that's what my business, Dress and Remain, is all about. I'm here to support you. And ladies, that's what I want us to have this strength building community where like we can tune in to what we need to get further ahead. Right. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this subject, because I thought, we all are dealing with this. We're all dealing with problems. And actually just recently someone had posted, how do I not sweat the small stuff? And I was like, wow, this is really great. We're like people are vibing on the same thing here. So I hope that was really helpful for you. And I just want to, I know we're kind of getting down to the time for kind of what I've set for this program. And I really try to stick to time because time is the most valuable asset you have. And I appreciate when you give me your time. I would never take that for granted. So last couple of things I want to go over is just some words of wisdom. And also, I recently became a contributing writer for Fairy God Boss. So I wrote an article about 30 quote strengths that you can find if you go to dressingroom8.com. So dressingroom8.com. And you can reread, you can print it, read it, like reread it, all of that good stuff. Because sometimes we need those reminders. We need those reminders for kind of what makes us special, why we can overcome anything, right? And I'm happy to give you those reminders. So here's some other quotes that I found that I think that you would really appreciate when you think about, am I a problem solver? Am I really just focused on the solution? Am I focused on the problem or am I focused on the solution, right? It's two different mindsets to be in. Be in the right one, which is the solution one. So first, when life gets harder, challenge yourself to be stronger. Real simple. That's anonymous person who wrote that. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Fred DeVito. That's an important one. Do you want to be the same? Or do you want to overcome shit? Right? You can overcome, you can grow, you can be better. You can be your version 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. It's all up to you. It's all up to how much you want to accomplish, how much you want to do in this world. Next, don't run from challenges, run over them. I love that. Like, yes, I remember I was having a conversation and I think one of the guest speakers said, I sit on my oppressor, right? And I think her name's Katia, right? And she just vibed that whole like idea of ultimately you can decide how you respond to things, right? And if you're going to allow an oppressor to just oppress you, then you're not living your true self. You're not doing justice to you. Sit on your oppressor. Run over those challenges. You can do it, right? But you got to believe it and you got to take action to do so. Next, be your biggest competitor. Challenge yourself each day to be better than you were yesterday. I love that because I'm all about trying to be my best version. To live my best life is to be my best version. And guess what? You can up that ante every single day, right? You can change behaviors every single day. Isn't that amazing? Every single day is a new opportunity to be badass. Every single freaking day that you are alive. So don't sit here and say, I can't do anything. I can't. I know it's a fun phrase. Like we all say it sometimes because when something is like really funny, it's like, oh, I can't. But guess what? Like, don't believe that you can't do anything in your life. Don't believe that you can't make changes because it is up to you to do so. It's totally up to you to do so. Next quote, I thought that was very clever, is the most challenging times brings us the most empowering lessons. So this is written by Karen Salmonson. I think that's how you say her name. Guys, we're like I said earlier, our character muscle, right? If you think of it as a muscle, is only going to morph and get stronger and bigger and more resilient with the more challenges we overcome. So we can't run from them. We can't fear them. We can't even get pissed off at them because it's all a part of this process we call life, right? So if you understand that, if you accept that, then I think you can really have tremendous growth there. So with that kind of concludes everything I wanted to address for this topic. If you have additional comments, if you have additional thoughts, please don't hesitate to share that with me. How do you do so? You can definitely add your comments here. You can visit dressingroom8.com, and I'll put that here in the comments for you. Dressingroom8.com. To chat and there we go. So I put that there for you. And next, essentially, I would say if you're curious to see what my next content's going to be, if you're curious to see what events I have upcoming, I urge you to go to dressingroom8.com, dressingroom8, and you can totally see all the live streams I have set up, all the in-person events that I'm doing. I'm doing a couple of conferences in October. First, shout out to 5th Annual Women on the Rise Forum and Expo, October 19th and 20th. So I'm doing a whole mix. I'm dealing with the mixer, and I'm the host of the After Hours Network networking mixer, speed networking mixer. And so want to master the art of networking? Come see your girl. October 19th. It's going to be dope. LaGuardia Plaza Hotel, right? And then I'm also a speaker at She Leads 2018. Adrienne was gracious enough to join this live stream. She's the founder of She Leads Media. So if you're curious to hear my thoughts on media and how to pitch the media and how to kind of get your story out there, come see me, She Leads 2018. And, all those details, again, dressingroom8.com. And with that, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your thoughts on wanting to talk and at least dive into this subject. I know that that's just even that part. It means that you're ready for kind of having a deeper conversation and you're ready for transformation with this. So I appreciate you. I can't wait for us to have another event. So visit me, dressingroom8.com, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.